well. So bear with me as I do this. Great. Well, listen, a very, very warm welcome to everybody who is joining us on this evening's webinar. I want to thank you. I want to start by thanking you for coming to join us tonight. I know you definitely had a choice as to where you could have spent your evening, so I'm really glad that you accepted the invitation to be on this webinar, which should be about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit less this evening. So what we're going to do this evening, we're going to share some information with you on a company recently launched here in the UK and in the Netherlands, which has been responsible for an absolutely extraordinary scientific breakthrough within the health and wellness industry. This company and the product we're going to be focused on has now been backed by over 22 peer review and published clinical trials and studies. A product which has seen thousands of people feel better, look better, and these new findings that have recently come out in a clinical trial also show that it increases life expectancy as a result of taking it, which is pretty powerful. So what I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to be talking to you about the company, how you can position yourself at this point in time in the growing trends, look at the groundbreaking product, and also how, if you choose to join us, how you can make this a business for yourself. But very briefly, what I want to do before I kind of kick this off is just introduce myself very briefly. My name is Laura Zimmern. I'm originally from Ireland, but I now live in southwest London with my husband and my 3 children. My background was in very traditional business up until 6 years ago. I ran my own recruitment company in Dublin for years. Moved to the UK. It's when I got into the health and wellness industry. I had a yoga business that I ran with my sister-in-law for 8 years. We franchised it here and internationally into Australia. So health and well-being has always been a massive passion for mine. And 6 years ago, I found myself, like many women do, I found myself at home with 3 young children under the age of 3.5. And it was when the industry of network marketing first found me. In fact, it took the person who invited me to take a look, took them 9 months for me to sit down and actually look at a presentation, because I thought, that's not me, I'm not going to do that. But when I finally sat down and took a look, I realized that this was an opportunity for me to go out, work part-time at that point in time around my 3 young children, 3 children under the age of 3.5, but yet still be a mom. It was something I could do while they were at nursery, while they were taking naps, and then, you know, in the evenings when they were in bed early enough. And I've been fortunate enough to go out and generate a 6-figure a year income in this industry, which has been amazing for me. So what I'm going to be talking to you again tonight, we're going to launch into the company, and what I want to talk to you about is I want to kind of bring you back to where it all began, because back in 2005, ABC broadcasted a report that said taking our flagship product would lower oxidative stress by an average of 40% within 30 days. At the end of the broadcast, a little pop-up said, for more information, go to ABC News. And what happened was people did. In the space of a couple of days, over $5 million in orders were generated. The stock went from $1 per share to $20 practically overnight on the sheer speculation as to what this product could do inside people's bodies. But there was one problem. And that problem was that the lovely man, Dr. Joe McCord, was a researcher. He was a scientist. He's the guy running the company. He wasn't a marketing man. There was no sales team or customer service team in place. There was literally no one to pick up the phone or take out orders. There was no real infrastructure. However, what did happen that night was other doctors, researchers, and scientists were watching. And they saw that clip in 2005 and they got excited. So they began conducting their own studies at universities like of Harvard, LSU, Ohio State University, University of Florida, Colorado State University, a whole host of research organizations such as the American Heart Association, the National Institute of Health, and the National Institute of Aging. In fact, today, as of yesterday, we had our 22nd peer-review published study validating this product. And that's something that we're really proud of, because as distributors, as people who recommend this product to people, we have so much confidence in what it does. But going back to that story. After the initial surge of interest, the product landed on the shelves of the likes of GNC and CVS in North America. That's kind of the equivalent to our Boots and Superdrug. And they ended up selling approximately half a pot of Protandim per store per month for 4 years. So not exactly an overnight success. They tried all sorts of marketing, online, everything, and it just didn't work. So LifeVantage knew that they had this incredible product, but they just didn't know how to get it out there. And finally, they engaged a team of consultants to advise them on what they should do with this product. And the consultants took one look at this amazing ABC clip and the research that had been done at that point in time, and they said this product needs to be moved through a network. This is a giant story, and this is something that needs to be shared, a belly-to-belly conversation. So literally in 2009, the company flipped the switch and they went from being a predominantly retail company to a network marketing model. And they went from $3 million a year to over $200 million a year in just 4 short years, which is quite a significant story in any company's life. So LifeVantage has been steadily at 200 million a year in revenue for the last few years. Some key leadership changes have taken place in the last 12 months. We have a new CEO, Darren Jensen there, and a chief sales officer, Justin Rose. These gentlemen have combined over 50 years experience building billion-dollar brands in this industry in over 100 international markets. We've also got a new vice president of international business and a new European general manager. They're family men, they've got high standards, and they're positioning the company right now to have an amazing surge and amazing growth, which is really, really exciting. Now, I also want to talk to you about some of the growing trends that are out there relevant to the subject this evening. And why? Well, because a lot of people will start a business like this on a part-time basis. And why? Well, we just have to look at the trends over the last 20 years to see that wages have stagnated. Increased cost of living means that in today's job economy, over 50% of UK workers are telling us that they are working paycheck to paycheck. In fact, sometimes it's not even lasting the month. So they're working out the month, waiting for that next paycheck. There's also so much more competition in the workplace. Why? Because of the pension crisis. We've got 5 generations of people in the workplace. So much more competition for those jobs. We've got the baby boomers that hold 77% of total wealth, but also own a majority of the national debt. Their main concerns are aging and that their money is not going to last them through to their retirement. We've also got a lot more women in the workforce, and a lot of these women are now resorting to home-based businesses because they can dictate their own income because of the increasing pay gap in the gender pay gap. And we've also got millennials. You know, they say that something like 70% of millennials, that's 18 to 35s, you know, have seen their parents struggle and they want to have their own business. And we've seen this new economy, you know, it's been nicknamed the gig economy, where a growing number of people have more than one income. They're going to have a day job, but they're also going to latch onto other things. Uber is a great example of how people have gone out there and developed additional income. And what is driving these people is really a better future. People want to do something that they're passionate about. They want to have the freedom to live their life on their terms and afford the lifestyle that they know they deserve. So as a result, what does that mean to us? Well, it means that over 150,000 people worldwide are joining network marketing companies every year. The internet, social media, all the apps that are at our disposal are there to help us create that additional income with these businesses. And here's what I love about this business. I don't know if there's any traditional business owners on the line, but my last business prior to getting into this industry, I raised over £500,000 in investment to get that business going. And it took a number of years before we could break even and start seeing any sort of profit. What we've got with something like LifeVantage, and we'll talk about the opportunity in a few moments, is a business that you can get up and running pretty much overnight. You have no overheads, no inventory, and no website to build. We don't have to ship anything. Our corporate team, our head office, has put all of that intellectual property together, the formulas together, the pay plans, the distributions. What we have to do is just get good at inviting people to take a look at the product and take a look at the business. So building a network with LifeVantage is really a modern day solution and fits perfectly into these trends. Moving on to the product, and the product is something that I am hugely passionate about. In fact, it's why I joined this business. And it's why I see anyone who's looking at this business being able to go out and build something solid that will last, not just their lifetime, for their children's lifetime, if they follow the system, if they're coachable and they do it. So what I want to say is Protandim. I'm going to talk about Protandim. It's our NRF2 product. It's our flagship product. It's backed by 6 patents, 22 peer-reviewed studies, and it is the only product that the FDA says is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress in the body by an average of 40% in 30 days. Now, the big question is, what is oxidative stress and why do we want to avoid it? Well, I always say to people, imagine an apple being cut in half and leaving it out on the counter for an hour or so. When you come back, that apple has started to brown. The same goes for a piece of steel left out in the weather, or a bicycle. It just begins to rust. The same thing happens to every cell every time we breathe, or we can breathe oxygen, or we consume anything. And it has that same effect. It is breaking down the body at a cellular level. So today, oxidative stress is rampant because we're exposed to over 80,000 different toxins in our lifetime. We've got pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, all the genetically modified food we're exposed to, all the artificial colors and flavors and ingredients. Just breathing alone will take it. So this is causing high levels of oxidative stress, and it's the primary root of the breakdown in disease. Now, what's really key is we're not saying that Protandim cures, treats, or prevents any diseases or illnesses, but it does lower your oxidative stress. And this begs the question, who do you know who would benefit from this product? Who do you know who isn't sleeping, is always complaining of being tired, has aches, has pains, is finding it hard to focus? It really is everyone. In fact, really recently, a very interesting study was published. It was actually a 10-year study. It was published in June of this year by the National Institute of Aging. And they found that after studying every pharmaceutical, nutraceutical, nutritional supplement out there, only one supplement was proven to increase your lifespan, and that was Protandim. Not another NRF2, but it was Protandim. The average increase in lifespan was around 7%. So just thinking about that alone, you say to yourself, what would an extra 4, maybe 6 years of life mean to you? Now, just explaining NRF2, when I first heard about Protandim, I've trained as a nutritional therapist. I'm very familiar with what antioxidants are all about. I immediately jumped to the conclusion that Protandim was an antioxidant because it lowers oxidative stress. That's the damage done by free radicals. That's what I thought. But I want to be really, really clear with everybody and make sure they know it is not an antioxidant. It's called a NRF2 activator. And what does that mean? Well, it's got 5 natural ingredients. Most of them you'll have heard. You'll have heard of turmeric, green tea, milk thistle, black pepper. You may not have heard of Bacopa. Bacopa is an ingredient found in Ayurvedic medicine. It's a white flour. And this synergistic blend, not just taking them in any old format, but actually that synergistic blend creates a pathway into our cell. And what it does is it turns on our own body's natural antioxidant producing enzymes. Okay, there's 3 enzymes that produces something called glutathione, it increases it by 300 to 900%, something called catalase by 54%, and SOD by 30%. Now, here's the thing, 99% of the free radicals in our body are neutralized by SOD and catalase. And the other thing is, these are not supplements that you can eat. This is something your body makes. So really, I'm not knocking the blueberries and the oranges that we've all been eating for years. They come with a whole host of other health benefits. But actually, if you really want to knock out those free radicals, you want to be turning on your own body system. So I always like the analogy of taking an antioxidant is about as effective as throwing a glass of water over a house fire, whereas taking Protandim, it's like having a fire hose in every single room of the house. So at £47 a month, just 1 pill a day, it's an absolute no-brainer. Who doesn't want to live longer? Who doesn't want to feel better? Who doesn't want to sleep more? LifeVantage has been the leader in nutrigenomics for the last number of years. They have developed 4 product ranges. Now, right now in the UK, we've got the anti-aging product, the NRF2. They've recently launched something called an NRF1. Not going to go into that this evening, but that mobilizes the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of your cell. And that will be coming to these shores, coming to Europe in the next 6 months. We've got a beauty range. It's a skincare range. It's a phenomenal range that we have here. And again, that lowers oxidative stress on your skin from the outside in. So the two products together, the NRF2 and that True Science skincare range, are phenomenal. What we have to look forward to, well, a weight management system that helps people either achieve their ideal weight or maintain their ideal weight. And then we have an energy product. This is a phenomenal product, not just for people who like to train and need that extra bit of energy, but actually it gives you cognitive energy. I know as somebody who loves my double espresso mid-afternoon, I've quit that, I take an Axio, and I get more lasting energy, and I call it mental agility from that product. So that just gives you a snapshot of our products, why they are so unique. So moving on to the system, and you might be thinking right now, wow, this company has an incredible story. I completely see the trends. I can see why this is a good time to look at it. Where can I get my hands on these products? But you might be also thinking, how do I build a business like this? What does it mean to partner LifeVantage or the person who invited you on this evening? And that is why we've built a roadmap of success with our Team Heart training system. It's literally a step-by-step guide to get you to wherever it is you want to do. Some people come into this business to just supplement an income. Some people will be coming into this because their goal is maybe a year or 2 years down the line to quit their job. Some people might be coming in to build a future that they've always dreamt of, but there is a system in place for you. We've also just launched an app to automate the marketing and follow-up process, help you convert a higher number of customers and deliver information literally at the touch of a finger. And 85% of people are not salespeople, but they love sharing great products. So we've made it really easy for people to do that. And this business, again, probably 90% of the people who work this business are doing it on a part-time basis. So we've solved the problem. We've created something that is simple and easy to follow. I always say to people, if you are coachable and you are willing, we'll help you share this opportunity with people. Now, next, we're just going to take a quick look at timing. And, you know, we're all familiar with real estate. We've all heard people's stories who've gone out and made a lot of money through property. And in property, it's all about location, location, location. And in network marketing, it's all about timing, 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 timing. Over the last several months, a couple of key things have happened that are really pushing this company, LifeVantage, into a huge growth curve. First thing is we received AAA opportunity rating by the Direct Selling Association. This is the governing body of the industry, and it's the hardest rating to get. So that's phenomenal. LifeVantage has been ranked the #1 performing stock on the NASDAQ by Forbes, and they're the #5 in the entire country. We've also been recognized as the fastest growing network marketing company in Utah, and there's a lot of companies based in Utah. In fact, probably most of North America's network marketing companies are based there, so that's quite significant. And what's exciting about all of this is we're just finishing up that initial foundation stage. You know, they've proven that the product worked. They've done all the groundwork. Everything is in place to go into growth. And for those of us here in Europe, we launched on these shores in March of this year. So if you're looking at this from a business perspective, you're getting in at the absolute ground floor. And the last quarter, we saw a 24% increase in global revenue. And we believe we're at the beginning of a really incredible momentum stage. We're going to see some unprecedented growth for many, many years to come, where sales will grow and double and triple in digits. So if you're joining a company around that stage, you are definitely in the right place. So right now, you're probably sitting in one of three places. You might be thinking, you know what, I would love some more information. I would like to review the research and I'd like to learn some more. And if that is you, please let the person who invited you on this evening, let them know what information you would like, and we'll make sure we get you to the correct source so you can have a look at that. Or you might like to become a customer and get these products get yourself on the Protandim, get trying our True Science products, protect yourself from oxidative stress. You'll be able to go to the website of the person who invited you, and you can order these products at a wholesale price. The only requirement is we encourage you to get on auto ship. There's no requirement, there's no commitment to stay on it. However, we do suggest that people try these products for a minimum of 3 to 6 months to get full results. And you know, over the last 8 months, I've seen people come back and comment within 2 days saying, wow, I'm sleeping better, or something major has transformed that they've noticed in their overall health. And equally, I've seen people that kick in 6 or 8 weeks. So what I say to you, we all know that eating broccoli and having salad and making sure we eat our nuts is good for us. We don't necessarily feel the difference overnight. So this is a product we'd encourage you to commit to taking for 3 to 6 months. And again, I would say whoever's invited you on, they can tell you lots of great testimonials, share some great testimonials of success people are getting on it. And you might be sitting in the third place. You might be thinking, you're interested in sharing the products with others. You want to register as a distributor. In the UK, just to explain, all distributors start on the Freedom Pack at £182. And then on day 8, you get to upgrade to either a Vantage Pack or a Platinum Pack. The difference is purely the quantity of product that are in there. But the Platinum Pack has more product. It allows you to get out and share it with more people. These are your business in a box, and they provide you with the product and everything you need to start building your business. It also comes with a free website, complete with an e-commerce function, so you can send people to order directly from the company. So you're not driving around delivering products, standing on people's doorsteps waiting to get paid. They pay the company directly, the company ships it, and you'll get paid your commissions a week later. The Vantage and the Platinum Pack also allow you to access the complete compensation plan, including all the additional bonuses. And really great product to get out there and build your business, and really increases your earning potential. So the compensation plan, I'm not going to go into great depths with it this evening, but the compensation plan pays out 6 different ways. We do it on weekly bonuses, and they're given for referring customers and distributors. Most of us are here to build a long-term residual income. So we want to build a network. So the initial incomes on products is 30%, and then we can build a residual asset by building a network of customers and a network of distributors who are getting that product out there. And the network, effectively, it comprised of 2 groups of people: a network of consumers, people who don't want to recommend the product, although lots of customers recommend the product, they refer people, or they don't want to earn commission, they're just happy getting on the product, using it, and experiencing the benefits, aching less, having more energy. And 9 out of 10 people we share this with want to be customers. We love customers. We want them. That's what we want. The other group of people is distributors. They're the people who obviously want to use the products, replace what they're currently using for these better products, but they also want to go out and share the business and the products with others. And in doing so, they'll get paid. Just showing you here, this is our public income disclosure, which I've never seen a company in this industry do this before. But basically, this shows you from very average income, from very much starting off from day one to building a large organization. Shows you what sort of income is available to you. It shows you how you can do something that may just clear a few debts, clear a few bills, maybe a family holiday every year, or an extra family holiday every year, or to the very other end of the scale to Pro 10, where you see there somebody earning $80,000 a month. So creating a life almost unimaginable. So my question to you would be, what level do you want to be at for this to be of interest to you? And what I'd say is, at this point in time, what I'd say to you is, you might be in one of 3 places. You need some more information, or you have some more questions you need answering. Please get back to the person who invited you. Maybe you want to be just a wholesale customer and get started on the product today. As I said, we would love you to try it. We would love you to commit to 3 to 6 months to try that. Maybe you want to join our team and begin sharing these products and this opportunity with others straight away. Well, the timing could not be more perfect. We have a revolutionary product, an even better system to share it with others. So let us know where you want to get started and where you're going to fit in. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you all for being with us this evening. Thank you for your time. And I hope we'll be welcoming many of you to LifeVantage.